Standing just over 7 feet tall and weighing as much as 500 pounds, the Sabine thing is a powerful, hairy humanoid creature in the same family as a Bigfoot. Its eyes have ill intent, many have stated. Although not glowing, there seems to be some sort of manifestation of evil when you make eye contact. Now, this could be attributed to fear, but it is known that the creature is incredibly powerful, very quick, and has no problem navigating very dense, thick underbrush. It has the ability to knock over small trees and has on more than one occasion chased hunters out of their deer stands. There have been sightings of more than one working together in order to potentially ambush victims. As to whether they would actually eat humans, that's not well known, but they are not strictly vegetarian. They are carnivorous, possibly omnivores. The creature gets its name from the area where it's been spotted, the Sabine River, which divides Texas from Louisiana. The dense wilderness that surrounds the Sabine River constitutes a corridor of approximately 170 miles in length to about 4 miles in width at its narrowest point. With close to 1,700 square miles of dense underbrush and wilderness to hide in, this creature has evaded detection for quite a number of years. In fact, some of the earliest sightings were thought to be around 1980 or 1990. There is one sighting in particular which we'll discuss that occurred in 1981 and is considered to be one of the quintessential eyewitness encounters. The similarities in appearance and their close proximity to each other has led some to believe that the Sabine thing and the Fouke monster are actually one and the same. One unsettling similarity between the Fouke monster and the Sabine thing is that there appears to be more than one of each creature. In fact, it's possible that there is a small community of these creatures roaming through the borderland of Texas, Louisiana.
But there is a mystery. Some local residents claim to have encountered a large, curious, unknown creature.
People are seeing something. What they're seeing, I don't know. I have no clue what they're seeing.
Many of the reported encounters have happened to couples parked on lonely country roads.
This area does have a history of sightings dating back to the early 60s, rumored to have even killed a couple of people.
Very thick woods on either side. I heard something walking up, and I turned around, and there was...
A team of researchers recently went out into the Sabine wildlife area and set up about a dozen microphones. They were left out overnight and collected a series of audio samples that initially were thought to be coyotes. They were sent to wildlife experts who were able to determine that they were not coyote vocalizations, and in fact were not identifiable. They could not determine what type of a creature makes that kind of a noise. Furthermore, the experts suggested that the length of the call and the volume it would take to produce such a vocalization would have had to have come from a creature with substantial lung capacity. It wouldn't have been necessarily a bird, for example. Here are the actual recordings put together in a short clip. There's a number of hunters and outdoor enthusiasts that once they encounter a Bigfoot are anxious to find out more. They're anxious to go back out and do more research. Unless they have a very terrifying encounter with the Bigfoot, most of the time they'll still go out into the woods, they'll still hunt, and they'll still look forward to potentially another encounter. But there's something different about the Sabine thing. Either it's incredibly aggressive or something is more terrifying in its appearance. And those that continue to go out into the wilderness after encountering the Sabine thing do so while carrying some pretty heavy artillery. In some cases, they feel as though a deer rifle is simply not enough. This next eyewitness account comes from Mike Woolley, a respected hunter and known in the community to be a man of his word. There was no reason for him to claim that he had seen the Sabine thing for profit. There was nothing in it for him except potentially being stigmatized as the person who saw the Sabine thing. So, in his own words, here's the account.
Cajun country native Mike Woolley was a lifelong hunter. One night in the woods completely changed his view of the region in which he lives. This is the first time he's come forward on TV to share his story.
For 20 years, I kept my encounter with the Sabine thing pretty much to myself because I was afraid of ridicule. I just didn't want to be labeled as a crazy.
December 1981, 3 a.m. On that chilly night, Mike Woolley was settling into his deer stand near the eastern bank of the Sabine River. Right off the bat, you could tell something wasn't right.
I noticed that the woods were real quiet that day. I mean, you could hear a pin fall. There was no crows calling, nothing. I mean, just totally dead. This little young doe, she come running up through this thicket. She comes straight to my deer stand and laid down at the bottom of my deer stand. She was actually touching the bottom of my deer stand, breathing hard. She had been run.
Mike figured a buck was pursuing the doe.
I saw something come up, and it got behind a tree at about 2 o'clock position. It was a big, tall, black, hairy creature, something. 8 foot tall, 500 pounds, 3.5 foot to shoulders. It was unbelievable. Something ain't right. He's a monster. I was afraid. If I took my eyes off him for a split second, he would charge me. I had a pretty good high-powered deer rifle, but I was afraid that if I shot the thing, I'd make him madder, and then I would be in trouble. The eyes were just, they were horrifying. They were demonic. I've never in my life had something stare into my eyes that evil. He let me know that he was intimidated, that he was ready for war. He was like, if I wanted to make the first move, do it, and he'd finish it. I was bringing my finger around towards the trigger, and he let out a growl, a scream. It felt like getting hit by a 70-mile-per-hour wind. I just automatically dropped my rifle. I knew right then that that was some kind of communication. I knew something was coming to join him. I knew when you got 2 on 1 and the deck stacked against you, you ain't got a chance. That was the turning point that I knew that I might not make it out of there. I felt like I needed to do something.
Mike made a mad dash from the tree stand, hoping he could outrun the thing.
He was coming after me. He's tearing the woods down to get to me. He was mowing down briars, and he was just letting out a god-awful scream, holler. I'm having to run for my life.
With his truck in sight, Mike stopped, ready to take a stand.
And I swing around, I just pop a shot off.
It gave Mike the time he needed to get to his truck and hit the road.
I just hammered as hard as I could to get out of there. I knew right then that the creature was trying to kill me. Before, I'd have to say I was a skeptic. Now, after what I've seen, I don't go hunting anymore. I don't go in the woods anymore because I know what these creatures can do. These creatures are there. They're alive and well, and they will hurt you bad.
Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, there's one thing for sure. Something is out in the Sabine wilderness, terrifying hunters and outdoorsmen.